Happy day to one and all present here. Hi, I'm Swetha from Become A&F Shift 2, here to present about physical evidence. Okay, whenever we step into any kind of shop or like any kind of service where we wanted to receive, we tend to see how the ambience look. Okay, and we also look into what are the new things which is attracting us from the starting of your entrance till end of the like we complete our service, after we pay our bill, what kind of services they provide. Along with that, the aesthetics of that particular place will add on value. That is what your servicescape, where the service provider and the service receiver are meeting together and they project into a kind of like negotiation in an environment, and that environment is called as physical evidence. Okay, let me not take into theory, because I am going to start with one particular restaurant which I went recently, was spellbounding when it comes to the ambience. Okay, all of us, we love to have that kind of going to our like granny's house and have the kind of nourishment whatever she gives. Okay, and that is because the traditional aesthetics is being blended together. Okay, so here is a restaurant called as House of Kavyam. Okay, this House of Kavyam is a restaurant where you need to leave your footwear in the entrance, how we do it for our home, and the ambience is like the restaurant where you need to sit in the ground and then have in the banana leaf with all the traditional food. Okay, yeah, traditional food, it is been offered in different kind of ambiences, different kind of places, but how you are being like representing to it, how you are actually like served, and what is the ambience, the temple kind of aesthetics will be blended together in this House of Kavyam, and it is called as hotel, restaurant, and in called as Vedavali's Madapalli. Okay, so this Vedavali's Madapalli is a new restaurant. They started it in like 2024 November, and where this particular restaurant is like becoming a booming market in Nungabakam, where this restaurant is like known for its ambience, where the traditional aesthetics is touched with our authentic food. Okay, so this particular kind of like aesthetics, I am repeating this word again and again, right? So that is what your servicescape is. So servicescape or physical evidence, all these are the texture or like whatever the elements that is being in blend along with your service provider. Okay. So when it comes to the meaning of this particular physical evidence, it is nothing but where the service provider and the service renderer meet each other, interact each other at a place where it is blending of the intangible elements of services and the tangible elements of the service commodities. Like for example, when we visit any kind of like top launch 5-star hotel, if you see, if you step inside, they do a proper scanning, they do a kind of like security check, and then if you step inside, they have a kind of a reception desk where you can inquire about the product features and features whatever the particular 5-star hotel give, what are the residential availabilities, and when you can go for, where is the food court, what is the new things that they are blending each other. All these elements are being answered by that particular reception desk. Just imagine you are in a new city and where this particular hotel you are going, and there is no reception desk. Okay, and there is no service provider who is giving you full information, and even if it is a desk, there is no proper kind of aesthetic towards it, and where there is no kind of elements. Okay, all the important heavy elements is not there, then this particular servicescape is incomplete. Okay, so the service renderer becomes incomplete when this particular and inavailability or like lack of people who are there in the reception desk. Okay, not only reception desk or like hotel industry. I'm being too much on hotel industry. Let me cover the retail aspect. Okay, so when we go to any kind of shops, okay, I will quote Mylapur's Rasi Silk. Okay, so I really love that particular shop where they have that traditional kind of welcoming inside, and they have traditional kind of taking up people into the like their comfort zone, where you don't feel like you are in a unknown place at all. Okay, so this is what when it comes to your blending of your physical evidence along with the service provider. Okay, so here the key words when it comes to you define this particular concept is the environment at which the service is being assembled, next where the seller and buyer is going to interact, and the third one is your combined with intangible and tangible commodities and facilitate a proper rendering of service delivery. So this is when it comes to the meaning of your physical evidence. Now moving towards the framework. Yeah, this is the major concept that I am going to segment it into pieces, and will be interacting with a lot of examples. Okay, so we are going to segment it into 5 elements. Okay, so first element is your environmental dimensions. Okay, so this environmental dimension has 3 segments. So the first environmental dimension is your ambient condition. So where ambient condition is like indulge of temperature, it comprises of air quality, it also have what are the noise, what are the odor, and what are the music that they are being adding towards when they provide the services. So let me quote with an example, like when you visit Kanagavali's silk sari shop, if you go there, the saris are being presented from the first floor till the end of the floor, like first ground floor, where you can see the entire sari has been like arranged into like a screen, where the physical evidence is being like narrated with all their epic products whatever they render. Okay, so that is what the physical evidence when it comes to the visual merchandising that they give. Okay, the visual aesthetic. Okay, how does it related towards ambient condition? So let us have temperature. Okay, so we don't have fans in that particular shop, and if you don't have any kind of like proper order, okay, and there is no proper like ventilation, or if it is like that, definitely we will not go to that particular place again, because we will feel suffocated, the comfort will not be there. So when we have any kind of retail, we need to present it very well. So the content whatever we are selling should be given in a holistic manner. So for that we need a proper kind of music that suits the people who are like visiting that shop, and it also it also like it's been blended along with the service. We might think this is not a big thing, but it also adds value. Okay, so now moving to the space function. So for narrating space function, classic example is your supermarkets. Okay, so whenever you visit any kind of supermarket, there are 3 to 4 layouts only. So first kind of layout is either they go with like in circular manner, you go inside, check all the thing, and you come back to the gate. So that is circular kind of layout. The second one, rack kind of layout, where they prioritize what are the things whichever it is like related towards it. Like for example, for kids related product, they arrange it in the last and second floor of the rack. Why? Because kids can pick it easily. Okay, and point of sale is the next one. When it comes to point of sales, the things which we think while standing in the queue, we will be picking certain kind of things, like a kind of mouth freshener, it can be a small sweet box, it can be nuts box, all these things which is like quickly we will take it from the point of sales, those items will be projected over there. Okay, so all these, okay, you can relate it to a Tamil movie called Velekaran. Okay, so where they explain each and every kind of marketing strategies of a supermarket. That is nothing but your space function. So whenever a particular marketer, they prefer their product to be there in the starting of the place itself, where the projection or positioning of their brand is really visible to that particular place. And I think many of us will be like visiting malls like EA. Okay, if you see starting off the first shop of the entrance, it is West Sides. Okay, and they have taken 2 floors of that particular shop, and if you see, it is like it is immediately near your gate. So if you go inside, if you will never miss that particular shop. So that is how they have positioned it when it comes to this, and like a duplex kind of steps they have, and each and everything they have a kids section kind of like a dressing room, and like for elders they have different kind of dressing room. All these things are like segmenting the people along with the product, and also managing the space function. Next element is your signs, symbols and artifacts. So these 3 are really important. For signs, I will say whenever we visit any kind of theatre, that theatre will have the exit board in all the places. When we observe it, the reason why we have exit board is the exit board is like a mandatory thing. Any kind of emergency, people should be aware of where they can exit. Okay, and any kind of emergency, they should have some kind of guidance where they need to navigate. So all the common places, exit board is must. It is not only for theatre service, it is also for educational industry, it is also for like hotels. All the service providers should have this particular element. Next one is your symbols. So when it comes to symbols, where the no smoking board symbols, and then you like wherever like fire extinguisher is there, there will be a kind of icon for that. Like that, there should be kind of emergency symbols which should be visible to the people who are there. And next one is your artifacts. This is what makes your entire like restaurant or hotel unique. For example, Raintree Hotel. If you see Raintree Hotel, a large Buddha will be there along with waterfalls, where this waterfalls and the large Buddha will be like connecting with the name of the company. So Raintree, it is like kind of associating the brand value towards based on your aesthetics. Okay, so these are the things which is really important when it comes to the environmental or physical thing. Next one is your holistic environment. So holistic environment is nothing but you comprise of all the elements where all the physical evidence, all the physical elements, all the physical environment with this particular aesthetics. Okay, so actually when it comes to, it is like how your consumer is going to perceive it, how are they going to take into the belief, what kind of aesthetic they are going to perceive. We have projected all these here, there and all, but they should project it, right. So that is what comes under your holistic environment, where the keyword over here is the perception of the people or like your consumer based on the servicescape. So when it comes to the holistic environment or like holistic environment, we will have consideration towards perceived servicescape. So perceived servicescape is comprises of 5 major elements. So the first element is your customer's economic behavior, where their element is considered or looped with their pricing factor. So how does they want, what is the price range they have, all these things matters a lot. Next one is your personalization, how customization and personalization is being like taken into consideration, and then how they are being developed into a holistic thing. And third one is your ethical consumers behavior, where they think about what is right and what is wrong, and how does it is being supporting the economy. So all these things is being taken into consideration for a ethical consumer. The last one is apathic consumer, where they seek convenience. Okay, so ease of use is what their major constraint when it comes to the apathic consumers. So these are the elements of different types of perceptions that each and every group or like cluster of consumers have. Okay. So when they have these kind of clusters, we need to take into consideration of everyone. So right example to quote about all the consumers address is your Pothys. So whenever we visit Pothys, they have exclusive kind of boards where that boards depicts about the pricing. So price ranges are been like projected and it is been placed in the appropriate places. Next one is your ethical consumers. So for ethical consumers, they have a wing where they have the cotton varieties, what the people who are doing it, based on the person who has done that particular product, their name is being projected. The whoever is like doing the product, that particular person's name is being also been projected in certain kind of products. So that is being taken through means of ethical consumers. Now moving on towards the third element, that is your internal response moderator. So when it comes to the internal response moderator, the major thing is what kind of arousal is coming to them, what kind of things that they stimulate them. Okay, how far this stimulation is being taken into a kind of response towards the offerings whatever it is being given. So basically we have done our roles. How does the people have perceived it? Next stage is how are they going to react. Okay, so that reaction is what the internal response that each and every consumer faces. Okay, so as a marketer, our role is to provide everything. After that, how the Servicescape is being perceived and how the internal response is there, what kind of attitude that they have, what kind of belief they have, what kind of mentality they have in order to address it. See, some people won't like traditional things, some people really love traditional things, some people like modern kind of ambience where a candlelight dinner is being offered, a moonlight dinner is being offered, all these things they like. But some people will like authentic traditional kind of food and aesthetics towards it. Like that, there are diverse kind of consumers and we need to address each and everyone's taste. Okay, so when it comes to this personality differences, what and all we are seeing, what kind of they actually avoid, what kind of things they actually take into consideration is what your responses. When it comes to this internal responses, it has been in a tri-dimensional segment where cognitive, that is the thinking element, whether we are doing the right decision, whether our decision is being long lasting. Okay, for example, for a 5,000 rupees I am just purchasing one nice silk saree. Will that silk saree be really original? Okay, all the tari work, everything is original or not? Is it like rendering good kind of longevity when it comes to that particular product? That is the beauty of durability. Then next one, whether the color combinations will be suiting me or not. That will be your emotional thing. So where you will be thinking about, okay, this kind of color, will it be appeal to me? Whether it is like a good kind of connect to me. Okay, let me also take into consideration of my peers review and my parents review or my siblings review. So based on the connect with we have, what kind of mood we have, attitude we have, that is what your emotional thing. And the psychological is the comfort, whatever the basic need where you need to have, whether it is fitting me or not, suitability is there or not, all these will be coming under your psychological need. Next one is your fifth stage, okay, where the fifth stage is nothing but behavioral response, where the behavioral response has four kind of thing. Either it's like affiliation towards that particular organization or like the service provider, where never to do, I will not go anywhere else, I will only if that particular person who is providing the service, I will be there. Then next one, like organization. So for example, when an employee also have the same kind of thing, okay, being an employee of one organization, we will have that kind of affiliation to develop that organization, and we will go in depth to that organization's groundwork and we will do it. So when it comes to the affiliation, so when affiliation is nothing but the organization as an employee you should have, as well as the customer should be having that on that organization. Only then there will be a long run of that particular service. Okay. So when it comes to affiliation, either either you become an advocate towards that particular product, and you start have a kind of favorable behavior, or if there is no affiliation, the avoidance behavior will be starting towards it. Next one is your exploration. So exploration is like adventuring new kind of products, adventuring new kind of product when it comes to employee, designing part, doing like one step ahead when it comes to as a consumer as well as an employee. Next one is the commitment. So whatever we seek, we will be doing it with a proper kind of commitment towards it as an employee, and as a consumer what will we do? Okay, let me not go to the competitor because I am loyal towards this particular service, so I will be projecting myself when it comes to this particular service. Next one, carry out plan for the future. Okay, so when should I do it? What kind of things I can develop it for my consumers? What will they love? What are the expectations? That getting feedback from the consumer, and consumer will be giving genuine kind of feedback for the improvement for that particular organization. So this is when it comes to the elements related towards individual customer behavior, and where it is like segmented into two, either you approach behavior or you go for avoidance behavior. Next, a proper kind of social interaction, where the social interaction is nothing but you have a kind of rapport with the consumer. Next one, your approach or avoidance. The behavior what we discussed, all these through means of the commitment, affiliation, either they go towards like avoidance behavior or they go for like approach behavior. When it comes to approach behavior, they render like a good service again and again, and the consumers perceive it again and again, and they become an advocate towards that particular service. And when it comes to the other side, they will be avoiding it, and they will be creating a negative word of mouth, and it becomes a brand wrong branding for that particular service. So these are the two things which can happen when a proper or like improper servicescape is there. When it comes to proper servicescape, then it ends up in a smooth ending where the employee is giving a good feedback as well as the consumer is giving the good feedback. Vice versa, when it comes to your a negative kind of servicescape, they give you a wrong feedback and it leads to a wrong word of mouth. So overall, when it comes to this particular thing, Servicescape is the one of the major element for a service provider, where actually service is an intangible thing. Only through means of these kind of personal touch, the service physical evidence and environment, the connect is being made towards a long lasting period of time. So whenever you think as a marketer, it is like you need to have a proper dimensions when it comes to Servicescape. As a concluding note, I would like to quote about Pansauce Poetry, where Pansauce Poetry is the restaurant where they have added aesthetics towards the people's feedback, okay, where the feedback is like there is lot of noise accumulation when it comes to the restaurant, and for which they have redesigned the ceiling and they have built upon their physical evidence. So this is what, when it comes to the services, whatever your customer is giving you as feedback, we need to take it and we need to make it into a better environment for the customers. Thank you so much for listening.